Relationships make the world go round, and each one of us is on this earth because we are born out of a relationship. Someone met with someone somewhere, they fell in love, and you are a fruit of their love. And we are here to talk about the different aspects of relationships. There has been a lot of myths that we need to demystify. We have a woman, and a therapist. They will help us understand how men view their perspective in relationships, and how women also view their perspective in relationship, and we have our therapist to demystify that. So before we go any further, I'll allow them to introduce themselves, starting with Eve.
Hello everyone, my name is Joy Eve and I'm a therapist with PNM6. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Peter Kariuki. I am a life coach certified, and I'm also a trainer. My core areas are leadership and purpose in life.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacinta Morade. I'm a consultant in the hospitality industry and I'm honored to be here.
Wow. Thank you so much, guys, for agreeing to be here. And first of all, Joy Eve, I'd like you to give us a recap of what we discussed last episode.
Yeah, thank you for putting me on spot. We had, I think one of the things we did was define healthy and unhealthy relationships.
Yeah.
And also demystifying the different effects of it and how it actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So then also we had mentioned what to look out for, and also how do you actually know that you yourself are in a toxic relation, or even you are toxic yourself.
Yeah.
So also we did do how to heal from breakups and how it looks like. I think we had a guest, Terry, who gave an experience and also gave a bit of hints of how she was able to overcome heartbreak. I think today we were to demystify more from a man's perspective.
Yes. And before we go further,
Yeah.
I'd like Peter to tell us what you understand by healthy love and unhealthy love.
Okay, my understanding.
Yes.
Okay, so I think the core reason people come together for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the reason you came together should be what informs whether the relationship is healthy or unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say for me, for example, my main reason for going into a relationship would be companionship.
Mm-hmm.
I want someone who would be by my side
Mm-hmm.
in good times and in bad times. So the definition of a healthy relationship for me would be someone who supports me. I'm in a relationship with someone who is my number one fan.
Yeah.
My cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
And the opposite is true. An unhealthy relationship would be, for me, a woman, because I'm a man now, a woman who brings me down. Yeah. I will make mistakes. Okay. So I will expect to be corrected.
Yeah.
With respect.
Mm-hmm.
With love. Yeah. But when I'm doing something positive, I will expect to be cheered on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And to be seen.
And to be seen.
Wow.
Yes.
Very important. And how about you, Jacinta? How do you define healthy and unhealthy love?
I'll start with the unhealthy one and I'll define it from a perspective of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Because that's where I have been most of my relationship times. Yeah. Unhealthy one is where I'm codependent on the other person. I'm not whole by myself. I am depending on him. So much so that when he say jump, I just jump. I'm not asking for what purpose and how high, whatever. But healthy one is where I am now, is that I'm whole and I'm expecting a whole person to come. And we both are whole being, right? And we see let's say if you want to solve an issue, you don't argue, you
Yeah.
sit down and talk like a mature human being. It's
Mm.
when now that you're mature enough to know I can separate an issue with the other partner. The other partner, my partner is not an issue. It's an issue. Then we sit down and talk about it.
Wow.
That's what I'm.
Wow, and I think this is something that we addressed in the last episode, right? Where we were saying when there is an issue, you address the problem, you
Yeah.
don't address the person.
Yeah.
Wow, and we also talked about the different stages in which love occurs. We said the first stage was the attraction, the where you have emotions, you're being overwhelmed, and then conflict where you're getting to know each other, and each part fits to its own. So also tell us, Peter, have you ever been in a place where you have experienced healthy love or unhealthy love, and how was it like for you?
Wow. Yeah, I have been. I'm not very young, so I've been in several.
Wow.
And I think they all start well. They all start healthy. Until it gets to a time, I believe it is familiarity that comes in, and they say familiarity breeds contempt.
Yeah.
Kizoyana, madharau inaanza. So I'd say I've been in good relationships. Thankfully, I have never been in a bad, violent relationships. But I think I'm extra keen on respect.
Wow.
And being honored. I thrive like many men. This is something I don't know if you know. Men live on respect and admiration.
Wow.
That is something they feed on. Like, it does not matter how I am cheered out there. If the one person that matters does not cheer me, my world is shaky.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have been in a relationship where it started very well and went very well until it got to a place where my cheerleader became my what would I don't want to
The one who
like,
pulls you down.
yes. Yes. So so it was not good from there. Because you go home to a person and you expect you've received praises out there. I've been working with people. I've worked a lot with people. So every time I'm addressing people, I'm working with people, and I'm being told out there, wow, thank you so much. You really helped us. But then I'd get home and the response would not be the same. Yeah, it would be like, I don't see what you do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was unhealthy.
That was totally unhealthy for me. I remember there are times I would feel like you no longer have. My personal mission in life is to add value to people. So if I don't feel like I'm adding value to the one person that matters most, then there's no reason for me to believe it.
Wow.
That's how it felt.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's very important, people, to understand that unhealthy doesn't have to be the same for all of us.
Yeah.
What you term as unhealthy is different for, an individual. So Joy, I've had Peter mention something about familiarity. Hiyo kuzoeana. Like kuna watu wakizoeana, that's where sasa wanaingia vizuri, you're free to be yourself. I don't know, what do you have to say about that?
I'm really trying to analyze that situation because you can't necessarily give a general response. So, but I think according to that situation, it depends really. So there are norms, there are norms where people say that familiarity brings contempt, but it depends in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because you guys need to reach to a place where you get to actually know the other person. And one of the things he has mentioned that is his love language is affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay, really? It's that aspect of affirmation. So words really matter for him.
Yeah.
So there are men who words don't matter that much. So they'll be like, you continue talking. It doesn't, as long as you feed me food, I am fine. As long as you cooked, I love you. So, but there's some men who actually feel, well, words of affirmation, so what you say is really, so I think it's a matter of actually understanding your person and actually knowing how does my person respond to how I actually like what I say and everything. And if you actually find it hard to communicate, I think maybe it's important for you guys to, if you are unable to get through or you don't know how to, then get help. Get help. You know, and you know, there's a therapist. Sit down and so, or even ask your partner, how do you actually like me talking to you? Because we need to address some things. It could be there's something that she wanted to address, but now maybe the way she addressed it for him, it felt like not. It felt disrespectful.
Yeah. So it's not just communication; it's also how you communicate it.
Yeah, definitely. So I can say different relationships have different responses. So there are people there are men they have really cranky ladies and they have been together 50 years. And a woman is a chatterbox. But there are people who, once they have a lady who is, let me say, has a critical, has the way they respond is kind of critical, they really feel offended. They want a more humble, a lady who is more gentle, the way they respond to situation. So I think for a woman, it's just about knowing the other person. Like, how does he respond? What is his love language? And sometimes in such situations, as I said, nobody is perfect. So I think it's a matter of when you realize I have hurt this person, allow yourself to learn their love language, and even as they learn your love language. And also apologize, say you're sorry, you know, and you make mistakes, but work towards changing the way you feel and think about it and how you address anything that you need with your person. So as I said, you can't necessarily give a specific general advice for
familiarity. Okay. Wow, and I think it's important that we emphasize that it's very important that you learn your partner's love language. Even though you're learning from other relationships, don't take what they do word for word. Because your partner is not that man, your partner is not that woman, they're different. Wow, so Jacinta, I don't know, share with us if you've ever been in an unhealthy relationship or a healthy relationship, how it was for you.
Unhealthy? I actually haven't experienced a healthy relationship because I have not been healthy for as much as I knew myself.
And it's very important.
Yes, I have not been healthy. So all the relationships that I have experienced, they have been unhealthy. Because that's what I picked from home. Because I grew up in a very violent home. Violent was normal for me. Actually, healthy men were very boring for me. I would be like, I need action because there's a body pain that needs to be fed. You understand? I needed. For me, peace was for so long until I sat down with myself and I thought this is not normal. For so long, peace was like I'm waiting for something to fall, and because I don't want to sit in that moment of waiting something to fall, I would rather bring chaos.
Wow,
you know. So all the dudes because that's the frequency that I was in, all the dudes that I would attract was unhealthy. Right now I look back at the relationships that I have had, I was like, the heaven? Was I normal? I remember the last relationship, which was in 2017, that's when the last time I was like, I'm done until I figure out who I am. I remember that dude used to live in my house, He used to live in my house. He used to bring his girlfriend in my house and he is my boyfriend. And for me, that wasn't a big deal until my friends started asking me, what does your boyfriend do with his friend in your house when you're not? I'm at work. He used to not work.
Wow.
They would come back and do whatever they want to do in my house.
Wow.
Even when I knew, it didn't bother me. It didn't actually bother me. You can imagine the state of mind that I was in. It didn't bother me. And previous, I had a boyfriend who could actually hit me. And if he doesn't hit me, I would provoke him.
Wow.
I would provoke it. That's how unhealthy I was.
Yeah.
They were not the problem I was.
Mm-hmm.
Until I realized, man, this is not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to change. This is actually not normal. When I sat down, I started doing the work. The work. This is when I'm beginning to get attracted to healthy men. And I'm not thinking of them as boring human being. Where is action? Where are we? What's going on? I need peace now.
Yeah.
There was a time I needed to feed something in me. There was violence that needed to be fed anytime.
Yeah.
And I could get it from any other person.
Wow.
And those are the kind of relationship. So healthy one I haven't experienced, which I'm hoping I will soon.
You will?
Because I'm beginning to see the light. I'm beginning to know why. Now I know me. I know, even when that pain body rises, I know it. I know it by name, and I'm like, chill.
Wow.
I know how to sort my issues. I know what to call what. Then I didn't know what non-violence language was. But now I do know. And I know people are supposed to be non-violent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I know there are a lot of people when actually their partners are not the ones who are unhealthy. They're the ones who are looking for that chaos. So I don't know, Joy, how can a person come to that place of self-actualization? Katie ajue, by the way, ni mimi hapa niko na shida and I need help.
Yeah.
So how does a person get there?
I think it's just the awareness. Just get the info. So if you don't know, you don't know. Yeah. So as we said last time, what happens is it depends with your background. If you've been raised in a very toxic background, you will normalize it. Kids don't know any other thing.
True.
Yeah.
So you normalize what you have been experiencing. The thing is, what changes is the information. So when you're given an information that something should actually be this way, like, yeah, things have not been this way, that's the time you actually start. So as long as knowledge is power. So as long as there's knowledge, there will be change. So as long as you are not putting in the work to actually get to know how things should be and everything, how a relationship should operate, how it should yes, there's work that you may need to do, like conditioning yourself to start feeling right and everything, but it always starts with getting to know. So
Wow.
it always starts there. Get the information and then you'll know, okay, this has not been okay.
Wow.
And then now you condition yourself out of it.
Wow.
Maybe just to add something.
Mm-hmm.
I really agree with that because looking back at my relationships, I had a serious communication problem. So as much as I felt disrespected, I never really aired it. I'm this person who believed in leadership by influence.
Yeah.
Huwezi jiambia, like, can't you tell yourself that is not nice? So I would pile it up. I have been disrespected. I'm piling. Maybe to them it wasn't disrespect. They were just being, because I have again this good thing. I get attracted and I attract very strong women. My relationship, I'm usually with this choleric, strong, powerful women. Yeah. So they'll tell you things as they are.
Yeah.
And now, looking at what Joy is saying, if I would just have said, what you're saying is true, but I wish you'd address it this way,
Yeah.
I think it would have worked better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So self-awareness is really key
Mhm.
because you need to know what your problem is.
Wow.
Yeah.
And most of the time, actually, it's not consciously. You not choose. I'm talking about me here. I did not go out looking for a violent man. I didn't like my CV is written a violent man. It is so unconsciously because that's the vibration that you're in.
Yeah.
So that's where you are. So that's the level that you attract. So until, as Joy is saying, until you are aware, and my awareness came from books because I love reading. I realized, hey, people can stay for 50 years without fighting. People actually talk and come. Me, solution was war. Like, what are you talking about? Let's solve this thing. Whoever we use is right? That's whoever we will follow. Yeah. Until I realized you can actually eliminate the problem. There's you and your partner and the issue. Let's talk about the issues, see how we solve it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
But until I was aware that people can actually talk like mature human beings, solve issues, and continue being in the same house. You know? Because for me, I was like, we fight, you leave, another one. You fight, you leave, another one. You know? That was a thing that was so normal for me.
Wow.
Until I was like, no, this is not
This is
normal.
not normal.
Yeah.
Wow. And communication is key, as you're saying. Tunaona Peter, he believed in, leadership and influence. And I think most men, my perspective, because now we are demystifying hizo vitu tumekuwa tukifikiria about men and women. Most men wako hivyo, like they don't speak out. Wanakuanga like si atajiambia. Si atajua sipendi.
Ni mtu mzima.
Si ni mtu mzima. Yeah. So able Peter help us understand. Sa zile like you are in that state, like you're with someone in your house, unaona hii ni ujinga anafanya na huwezi mwambia like, I mean, ni common sense. Nini inakuanga go through your minds?
I think there's two ways of looking at it. One is, for men like me, I hate confrontations. So I will now I don't. Now I like them because I saw confrontations in a good way. Yeah. Because I saw it's good to confront a problem, deal with it, okay.
Yeah.
So what I do in the past is, I hope she will learn. So she would act up, maybe a step out, take a walk. So nikirudi is the same person. Na maybe anaona kama she dropped the point home, but for me it's something I kept in my heart. Then another thing. So that's one way.
So zile unasema I hope she will learn. Una hope she will learn from a point of I have communicated this and I'm hoping she will sit down with herself.
Yes.
Analyze, learn ama.
Kwa sababu sitaki turudishiane maneno. So I hope, so atasema vile anasema, nitasema vile anasema, then I hope amesikia.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I hope amesikia, I hope amelearn, sitaki mambo. But then there is the other side of men want to lead. Yeah, and at times you second guess yourself as a leader if you're not feeling like you're being followed. So you want to take the lead, then you want her to follow. You want you don't have to say. Si lazima niseme.
It's just interesting, I guess.
Yeah. So you want, like, I have taken this direction.
Yeah.
I have, as the leader of this home, I think this is the direction we should take. One thing, okay, let me speak for the men here. The expert is here, she'll clarify.
Yes.
I think men are more logical than emotional. And the vice versa is true. Women are more emotional than logical. So by the time a man says, for example, mimi nafikiria tupeleke mtoto hii shule, it's a calculated move. Amepiga hesabu akaona we can afford this for this time. I think this is the best school for this child. I'm talking about a good man. This is the best school for this child. I think nikipeleka mtoto hii shule nitaweza kuhandle hiyo and the other things. So usually men will speak out the solution, the last resort. So hana, most of the time, hana space ya argument. Jompiga hesabu mpaka mwisho.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the issue arises, because now we are not dealing with our moms, the ones that were just okay. We are dealing with ladies, amesoma ka wewe, akona duka wewe. So when you give this idea, she has another idea. And maybe, let me just give this example. This is a real life situation. One day when I chose the school for my son, I am this person who believes in purpose. So I was looking at a school that is all rounded. They were doing well in drama. It's a school that performs well. My wife was just looking at hii shule iko karibu na home. It's easier to handle. Hii hata anaweza pelekwa na our house help na achukuliwe. And I was thinking that is so short-sighted. Yeah? And so it would raise a real argument.
Yeah.
Because the one that I was thinking about is more expensive. And at that time, we didn't have like all that money. So she was thinking, you and this Mafei things, how will you even afford that?
Yeah.
And I tell her, that's my business. I've picked that school, I'll handle it. So those are the kind of arguments that arise. So as a man, I expect I have charted this course. I know it's good for us. Please follow.
Wow.
Yeah. So if she's unable and she's unable to communicate it correctly, now an issue arises.
Wow. Na tuko kwa generation inaitwa generation Z na generation
Na
millennials.
millennials.
When you have understand that what are these? What are those?
I think the issue, that's not really the millennial issue. I think one of the things you mentioned is faith. So you've mentioned faith, you've mentioned your values. So whenever you're in a relationship, you need to be with a person who values
Shares
what
the
you
same.
value.
Yeah.
So if it's a person, if it's a woman who actually values faith, and you're like, by the way, I have faith, and you have faith, let's go with the faith.
100%.
And or if they value purpose, you will. Okay, mention two purpose, and she has purpose. You mention faith. They're like, let's go.
Yeah.
So I think even in relationships, you need to have a person. So unfortunately, ulipata mtu mwenye.
Very true. 100%. Actually, I usually say the reason that relationship didn't work, it was basically because our perspectives were different. Our values were different. Our worldview was totally different.
Wow. You know, when mtu anaambiwa do not be equally yoked, most people think that you need church and church, a believer and a believer. But it goes down to, do you share the same values? You know, mna share these little things zenye zina make a person a person. Do you share those things? Yeah.
No, I actually have before I get there, I have a question for Peter. So when you're getting married, if you don't mind, but if you do, go. When you're getting married, did you just do it because she was beautiful? I mean, because I'm assuming those are the things that we need to sit down and see, right? Are we rhyming? Are we equally yoked? Are we even phasing together? Did you do it? Do you look at it and think it was a mistake out of physical, or why? Just curious.
Yeah, very good question. Actually, I think I prepared for my marriage. Sijitetei. And I don't want this other person to look bad, okay? But I feel like I prepared, but she didn't. And when I had things that I wanted. And faith was one of those things. I remember one of then, because then I was serving in church on full time. One of the things that was not compromise for me was, I will not take a person who is not serving in church, who does not show like they are interested in what they're in serving God. Yeah. And I remember at that time she was not serving. But as we related as Namkatia, I managed to convince her to go back to serving. Yeah, so there are these things you see. There are at times you realize, hey, apa tuelewani. But you like this person when there's chemistry. Chemistry has already happened. Chemistry has already happened. This person is beautiful, and there are other things that she does so well. But right now, I'm telling you, if we don't share values, we cannot be real friends, because what I realized even later, we never really clicked. We never. That values thing is really important, because you have no common interests. But then I think I ignored a lot of that because the chemistry had already happened. And she was nice, and she's a very good woman. Yes, very wife material.
Wow. A question to you, Jacinta. Let's help men out there. Do you think it's possible for a lady to camouflage herself as something that man wants? And then akiingizwa kwa box. Anatokea.
I've actually seen that a lot. And I have sat with men friends of mine who are close friends, and they tell me, this is not who I married. I was marrying a different kind of a human being. But it comes back to because I think God is not it's very fair. He wouldn't just allow you to be deceived. And that's why your energy level, you have to be very, very aware of yourself. Because the moment you are aware of yourself, there are very slight times of you being lied to. Because you're not looking at her, you are feeling the frequencies.
Yeah.
You know where you guys are. But again, as Peter said, sometimes the chemistry comes, she's beautiful. I mean, I can change her. He don't even change her to bring her to the ministry. I would do that. I would actually do that for a year.
Yeah.
And then I'm back to my normal self. You know? But do women do that? Yes, they do that. But does it succeed? No. And why would I even do that to myself? To bring myself pain in future. Because it's you're gratifying yourself for a very short time.
Yeah.
Because you're really you can never suppress your libido.
Yeah.
You can't for long. You sit. You know, some women, they are married to money. They have a lot of money. And as I say, they work in the hospitality industry. And I see married women coming with different kind of men. Because she's not happy at home. Why? She was the money pulled her to the marriage, not the real person. Because if you're my friend, because I'm hoping when I get married or be married to my friend. Friend first and then partner later. Actually, let's fall in love because of how much we are friends. Because if I know you as my friend, I will know you for real. You have nothing to hide. Like, you take me or you leave me. You know? So, I hope for us or whoever, we get to a place where I need a real man. Not the money, not the how he looks, not whatever. I need the man that we can connect, laugh, beat the world. It's us against the world. But if we are not together, the world will beat us. The world will beat us. Yes. So answering your question is true. Women, especially women,
they can camouflage bias.
You're like, did you just pretend like that? Have you not seen your friends, a girlfriend? We are talking me and you. We are talking well. All of a sudden, when there's a dude that you have a crush on, all of a sudden, you have changed even the way you talk. You're even speaking English, and you were speaking Swahili. I'm like, what? Did you just change on like that? Let the dude know that you speak Kikuyu. Let the dude know that you don't even actually know English. So that if he's married, you know what? I'm in a place where in my life, like, you take me the way I am.
Yeah.
Am I saying that we will not learn together and grow? No. But I'm saying this is what I am right now. And we are building from where I am. When you tell me something bothers you, I will genuinely learn and change. Because I love you. Not superficial. Honestly, not superficial. I love you for you. You know? So yes, women do that.
Wow.
Women do that.
And also, I think it's important, like when you're getting to know someone, you know, ask these hard questions, because we might enter into a relationship and maybe your goals are different. Wewe unataka tuone 5 years, tuachane. Mwingine, I just want a long relationship, but I don't want to settle down. I think these are things that people need kuongea, because you enter into a relationship, you settle too fast, mnapata mtoto, and then huyo mtu hakuwa anataka kuoa, so you're forced into a relationship yenye hauko unataka, and that's when unapata mtu anasema I will change him. Do you think it's possible to change a human being?